I'm Georgia Lennon, one of the family law solicitors here at Southern Waters Legal, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update and a really positive update in light of some of the kind of negative news that we've been hearing at the moment. So, as most of you would be aware, our office is working remotely at the moment, as is the majority of the courts and things like that. And there's been a lot of, concern about, well, how does this affect my matter? Will things slow down and things like that? What I've actually experienced in the last couple of weeks has actually been a really increase in pace in the matters that we've had, and actually matters have been settling quicker and things like that. So a couple of things I believe has led to this. With respect to court matters, when you're able to sign all of your court documents in the Federal Circuit Court and Family Court of Australia electronically, that means that people don't have to come to the office, which has really expedited things. And from a cost perspective, it also means you're saving the costs of having to come to and from the office and have that additional meeting. So that's been a real positive for us. It's been able to mean that we can get documents on quicker. And has also meant that the client has been able to review those documents within the presence of their home. More recently, state legislation has just been passed in relation to the witnessing of other documents electronically as well. So, for example, that will now have an effect on wills and other estate planning documents in the coming weeks. Our office is looking at trialling some of the first e-signing of wills and things like that this week, which will be really great. In relation to once your matter is in court, I had one this week where we were in court. It was run by way of Microsoft Teams, which was excellent. It's kind of like a online software such as like Zoom or Google Hangouts. It's a really similar features to that. And we were able to settle that matter. So that was unbelievable. I personally believe that was the first court return date, that we wouldn't have had that time with the register that we had, where it went to a conciliation conference on the day, had we not had that technology available. And I don't know, but my impression seems to be that the registrars are having more time to be able to do things like this. By way of mediations and things like that, our office has conducted a lot of mediations electronically as well, by way of Zoom and other software. Strangely, it seems to be business as usual, but in a new, electronic sense. It's actually amazing, because I think it's saying a lot about how the future of work is going to look, which is, I think it's unreal. One other final amazing thing that has happened in all of this is, if you've ever entered into final property or parenting consent orders by way of an application just simply to the court, you will know that historically, your lawyer may have said to you it's taken anywhere between 4 to 6, sometimes 8 weeks to get those consent orders approved by the court. We had one where we filed last week and the orders were made yesterday. So that is a turnaround of less than a week. It is just unbelievable at the pace at which I think the adoption of this technology is allowing the courts, practitioners and clients to operate. And I think it says a lot about how the future of work is going to be. So I'll be very surprised if we go back to how things always were once all of this is over. So that's a little bit of an update, a bit of a silver lining in amidst all of the other news that's out there at the moment. So if you're concerned about anything, just reach out to a lawyer. I think they're not as bad as they think in some respects they're painted to be. So I just wanted to give that update, because I think there's been some real positives come out of this. And it's always good to look at those things and reflect on that.